You just hit play on 10-minute Tech Talks, business insights, and growth hacks for the time-crunched entrepreneur. I'm your host, Jonathan Kersting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and TechVibe Radio. And today on 10-minute Tech Talks, we're digging into a moment every tech entrepreneur eventually faces. You've got momentum, a smart team, and something that looks polished and impressive until you realize it doesn't actually solve the problem. Well, in today's episode, I talk with serial entrepreneur David Radin of ConfirmedApp.com. Talk with him on my TechVibe radio show about him building his new app called Meet and Greet. And he pulls back the curtain on why his team walked away from months of work, scrapped a good idea, and made the hard call most founders would avoid. If you ever wondered whether you're building a real product or just a shiny feature, this episode is for you, so keep on listening. David has some tremendous insights that I know you can learn from. Let's jump into it right now.
What we realized, and again, this goes back a long way, was doing this type of work for many years with many companies and on behalf of my own companies. And what we realized is that business relationships don't die. They never die, but they do fade away because they don't get the attention and because they don't get the follow-up.
Why am I thinking of a Neil Young song right now?
Yeah, I like it. So anyway, when you think about it in that perspective, you say there's something that needs to be done here. And when you look at all the statistics that are out there about the fact that so few sales get closed based upon getting a lead, and that so few marketing people end up getting to their closes that they need to do. And so many relationships fail in the middle of nothing, right? In the middle of, they just fade away, as I just said.
Exactly,
So we said a couple of years ago, we want to address this. And our first thought was, we're gonna create a new e-business card. And so I brought in a team of 4 CMU people to help me out with some new concepts and see if we can recreate the idea of a business card.
Wow, geez, that's like ripping up ages of tradition here.
Well, you know what we realized?
Here's what's so funny is I don't own business cards. I have some, but I don't care to use them. And it's always like, which is bad because like you want to exchange, but then most people don't have a card. But then when they do, it's like, yeah, really? You give me a card?
So
like,
I carry one around, but you'll notice I ripped the QR code off of it.
Okay, no more QR code.
No more. At any rate, so we started to do this whole, we thought, hey, e-business card, this is a better way to do it than regular business cards. It's got to be a better way to do this.
Yeah.
And
weren't people bumping their phones for a while or something going on?
That's part of what you can do right now. There's lots of neat things you could do.
Yeah.
But none of them make you more productive. And we started to go diving down this road, and we took several months to go figure out how to do it. We actually had designs put together, and we looked at the designs and we said, these are really neat. They're really nice. They're a great e-business card.
But do they really solve a problem?
They don't do the job. They don't solve the problem.
Well, that's interesting to me. I'm glad you're able to admit that to yourself, because seriously, this is something I see so many times. People go down a road pretty far and they're just going to convince themselves that this is great.
Well, you're
that
right.
happens, man. And you've been down the road many times, so you're smart enough to know. I'm just saying, I know people that aren't. I've seen people just keep digging it deeper, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, frankly, most of the time it's not. Very often it's not that it's not a good idea, but there are other pieces that are either incorrect or missing or whatever. But you realize, all sorts of reasons.
Or you realize what you have is just a freaking feature, right? And it's just like, well, that's great, but like I can't really scale this unless Microsoft buys it off.
There are products and there are features, and they're not always the same.
I'm talking like an entrepreneur. Dude, what's up with that? Jeez.
So at any rate, we looked at this thing and we said, this is really a good e-business card reader, but it's never going to see the light of day because it doesn't differentiate what we want to get done and what we want people to come to us to do. So we said, let's go back to the drawing board and let's work backwards and say, let's define what the specific problem is.
Yeah, what's the scenario when you're trying to remember someone's name or their contact information, right?
You don't want that relationship to fade away.
Right.
So we worked backwards and we introduced this idea of confirm meet and greet. So the idea is you already have some things that you do. And at most of these types of events, you have some sort of badge on, or maybe some nameplate in front of you or something to that effect.
Nameplate? Wow.
And what do they call it? Name tags.
I want a nameplate. That could be your next thing. In front of nameplate.
And I know on the podcast and on the radio, nobody can see what's in front of us on this desk. But I've got 7 or 8 different name tags that have been given to me
lots of
over the last I don't know, 6 months or
Robotics
so.
Factory, the Innovation Challenge.
And they're all good and they all work and they're really nice.
I like the old school one that says, hello, my name is David.
But what about that one intrigues you?
Because it's hand done.
It's handwritten.
Right. So
Yeah.
how are you going to capture something that's handwritten?
And that's sort of a cool thing. So if you don't
Okay.
mind,
Yeah.
and this is, if you're, I'm going to describe
Can I be
this
you
for-
and put this name tag on
Yep,
there right
I'm
now?
going to describe this for
Yeah.
people on the radio. So what happens is you're wearing a name badge. Now that one doesn't have your name. That one's got my name on
Yeah.
it. But all
But
it says is David
for
and it's
demonstration
handwritten.
purposes. Yes, it's
And
handwritten.
so I take out my phone.
You got neat handwriting, though. I'll
Okay.
give you that much.
Thank you.
I
And
should
I-
do my own name and see if it would pull
Hold
in.
on. I aim it at that badge.
Yeah.
And I click read a name badge.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I just took the picture of you,
Yeah.
really, that badge was little. It wasn't really big.
Yeah.
Would you please read the name that's on there now?
Jonathan Kersting. No, okay. It says David Radin.
It
The
says
name
David Radin,
tag that I'm holding
because
there.
it
Yes.
found me. We did some matching. So what we're
Yeah.
doing is we're combining AI
Good.
with OCR, which goes way back in my background, because I used to work for
Yeah.
engineering scanning companies back when I
Yeah.
first started in the
Okay.
industry.
All right. All
And
right.
the fun fact is
Yeah.
my boss, his claim to fame was he could read a Wall Street Journal from a satellite.
Nice.
That's how good his OCR was
Wow.
compared to most.
Okay. To
So
most.
we're taking all of these
Except for
types
the
of
government
things and sort
stuff.
of building them together.
Okay.
And so now I have this piece where it says, you just talked to David Radin.
Yeah.
Do you want to invite him? You click send an invite.
Yeah.
So then at that point, it sends a text to you, the person
Okay.
who's reading the badge. It will say, do you want to accept this? Because remember, this is all permission
Based.
based.
100%. You
Okay.
got to have a permission base.
And you say yes and accept it. And before you know it, we both have full information about one another.
So here's the key takeaway. The hardest part of being a tech entrepreneur isn't building, it's knowing what not to build. In our next episode, David takes this lesson one step further and shows how a real-world frustration at networking events sparked his entirely new idea, one rooted in human behavior, not hype. Because once you kill the wrong idea, you finally make room for the right one. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. If you want to hear the entire episode of David Radin, be sure to click the link in the description for my full TechVibe radio interview, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.